What's going on, my YouTube friends? This is Andrew Penzi with Vital Point, and I'm about to blow your minds because I'm going to show you the single best method of getting higher in the tree with your climbing sticks and also being able to use wider trees with your climbing tree stand. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss this. Guys, it is late, but I'm in the kitchen chilling with some rope. For the last few years, I have been using a homemade rope ladder to be able to get higher in the tree. I use it on my climbing tree stand because it gets over that trunk flare that most trees have, so that you could hang your climbing tree stand much higher. You climb up the first few steps using your rope ladder, and then you don't need to worry about adjusting your stand as much later on. You get over that hump and then cruise on up the tree. Also, I'm going to be using it on my climbing sticks so that I could use less sticks and get higher in the tree. So let's get started. Now, just so you know, I have tried many methods, and I assure you this is the best. A lot of people use webbing to try to make steps. I've made those. I put things inside the webbing to make it more solid. But the webbing, it spins around, and especially in the dark, if you're trying to get your big fat boot in that webbing while it's spinning and twisting, you're going to go crazy, and meanwhile you're dangling there. This is a much safer method. What I like best about it is it's just solid, it's sturdy. The step is always right there where you need it. It holds its shape pretty good, and it's easy to use and easy to make. Here we go. I'll show you a couple quick measurements. I use about 8 feet of rope per step. Okay, so I'm making a 3-step rope ladder. I use about a foot dimension for height between each step. I find that's a really comfortable measurement. I'd rather climb more steps at a shorter dimension than real long steps, because trying to climb up when you have a lot of winter clothing on, it just gets difficult. So this just makes it real easy to climb. You need a little rope at the top for a knot. So all in total for 3 steps, you are looking at about 32.5 feet of rope, but have no fear because Home Depot's here. Home Depot, you can get a pretty cheap rope. I get this rope for, it's like 100 feet for maybe $9 or something like that. You can't go wrong with it. It holds like 280 pounds. So for the most people, it's pretty good. So get your rope and let's get started. All right, I put out a white towel to make it a little easier for you guys to see what's what. So mark a little piece of tape in about the center of your rope, and then mark another piece of tape about 23 inches down. And you'll see why in just a second, on each side. So you have 23 inches plus the centerpiece. Now you're gonna make, I don't know what this knot is called, but it's kind of like a bowline knot, but it slips. So you want it to slip so that you can fit it over your climbing steps. So I'll show you how to do this. You get the center of your rope here, okay, bend that. You make a simple little loop in the line. You're gonna pass your center through the loop, okay? And then, instead of pulling the center tight, you're gonna reach between the center and grab these 2 pieces. Flip the center over, and there you go. You tighten that up a little bit so that the center's right in the center, and then see that? It slips. It's a double slip knot. So you could use this, and so I'll tell you why we do this. Let's say this is my homemade climbing stick. You should see that video. You could slide it over your stick, like so. Tighten it up, and then you have your ladder hanging down underneath. All right, the trickiest part about this project is managing your rope. So I tend to wrap up both ends of the rope. I think it just makes it much easier to work with. I start with my little knot at the top there. And now I'm gonna get this rope on the left side, and I'm just gonna make a little loop like this. And about a foot or so, you don't have to worry too much about it. We'll straighten it out later. But about a foot loop, and then you come around and you loop it again, like so. So that way you have 3 lengths of rope. This is going to be your first step. Let's get this out of the way. So there you go, 3 lengths of rope. You're going to get the other side, and you're going to go over the first one, under the second, and then over the third. So let's tighten this up. and you'll see what I'm talking about. You have your, can you see that? There we go. So now you're going to grab those three strands that you had together, and you're just going to start wrapping the rope underneath and through the middle. Like so. Now try to make your wraps as tight as possible. It'll just make things much easier. Mind where your tape is, because that's your dimension that you're working with. So try to start right at the tape. Wrap it around real tight. Getting the first one started is the trickiest. You want to go around about 20 times. I find is very comfortable for a big fat boot. So just pass the whole rope through. Make another wrap. And you're going to go 20 times through.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
20. All right, after you go 20 times around, you just want to pass this tag end through the loop, and that's going to lock it. I use my daughter's hair ties to hold this. Meanwhile, it works out fantastic. There you go. Now, to tighten these up, all you have to do is pull the loops on either side, and that'll tighten this extra. Or actually, on this side, you can pull the end that hangs down. That's going to tighten these. But what you have to do before you tighten it is adjust it so that your 12-foot mark is pretty even on both sides. You know where your 12 feet mark is from the tape you put on earlier. That's going to give you about 12 feet. That 23 inch measurement we had. So you have to just play with these loops and figure, and let's say a Sharpie actually works pretty good for this. You can put a Sharpie through the loop here and pull it. And now this is kind of tight, but you'll figure it out which one has to move. Start playing around with it until one of them will go, there we go, see? So now I'm pulling the loop on one side, and it's pulling this tape closer and closer. See that? All right, so that's my 12 feet right there. It doesn't have to be perfect, because you could always just adjust this loop later on, but you want it to be close. So then I'm gonna pull the other side loop until this loop tightens up. There we go. And now you have one loop left to deal with. Straighten out my rope here. You have this last loop to deal with. So to tighten this last loop, you just pull the tag end that's hanging down here. And that's going to pull that loop tight. Watch it go. Here it goes. All right, now I like to snug up the rope as best as I can. Snug up all my loops. This rope does stretch quite a bit, so there is some stretching, but don't worry about it. It'll tighten itself up in no time. Now, I'll like to wrap this end around a chair and really yank down on this thing to make sure it's not going anywhere. But you could just pull the tag ends, and that really snugs it up good. I just want to show you by twisting this around, you could actually get a little slack in the rope. So I go right around with it, push that slack right through. See that? Just to really get it tight. I sort of twist it to be able to get that little extra bit. Follow it around. Just keep going around with that loop. This really snugs it up good. And then pull it through tight. There, that's not going anywhere. So that's your first step right there, folks. All right, let's do another one. So we're gonna measure another 12 inches down from there, put a piece of tape, and do the same thing. Okay, measure out your 12 inches. I marked it, and I'll put a piece of tape so I remember where that is. Alright, working from the left side again. You do the same thing. Make your loop. One going this way, one going this way, and one going back. There it is. 3 lines. That's your step. See that? Get your other end. You're gonna go over the top, under the middle, over the next one, like so. See that? And then you're gonna go underneath. Pull it to your tape there that you marked, underneath, and you're wrapping in the same direction. And here we go again, 20 times around.
One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
20. Great. 20 times. Go through the loop on the end. Through the loop. Make sure everything is lined up right and tighten it down. Now this one has to go in more. So feed it through just like before. You got to play around with it a little bit once in a while just to make sure you get it right. Again, use like a Sharpie or a little stick to kind of help you pull these ropes through to get them adjusted properly. There we go. There's your second step. Tighten it all down. Let's do a third one. I got my tape marked already on here. There it is. My 3, 1, 2, 3. Over, under, and then over.
One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
20 through the loop. Now, you adjust your knots. Pull it tight so that the tape lines up, so that way you get an even length on both sides. I left a little loop on this end that I could pull with. That actually makes it a little bit easier. Just gotta figure out which is the right one to pull and you'll play with it. See, tighten that up on one side. There we go. Then you're gonna pull this loop tight from the other side. Snug it down. Tighten everything up. Trim the ends and burn them. Okay, here's the finished product. This is the final rope ladder. It's 3 steps. Even though I made the length of these 12 inches, when you step on this and stretch it out, it's probably more like 16 inches. So that's why 12 inches is a good length for the side measurements, and it's a comfortable width for or height for stepping. So there you go. I'll show you how it works on my climbing stand. On my climbing stand, I just get these loops. I cut it in the middle, bent it around, and clamped it off on my climbing stand. And on the tree sticks, like I mentioned, you can just slide the knot here, slide it around your stick, and tighten it up. And don't worry if it's a little twisted, it'll all straighten itself out after a little bit. Loop it to the tree, and you're good to go. You know, for the climbing stand, it does take a little strength and coordination to be able to step on it because it wants to swing a little bit. I've learned to put my top boot against the stand, and that helps you keep from swinging a bit. So it just takes a little practice, but you'll get used to it. Hold on to the top stand as you grab up. With the sticks, obviously, just grab onto the stick itself or the tree and use that to help support you. But these stands, steps will stay nice and level. They stay straight. They don't twist around in the wind. So I hope this video helped you out today, and hopefully, you know, something like this will help make your experience in the woods a little bit better. It's helped me. Hopefully it will help you too. So hey, have fun out there. This is Andrew Penzi, Vital Point, signing out. Catch you later, guys.